Hello, everybody, and welcome back. This is the latest on the severe weather outbreak occurring overnight tonight into Thursday night for the southern United States. Let's get right into it. First off, we do have my outlook for the next 3 days. This is the summarized risks. Generally, the green means that some severe weather could be possible. Yellow meaning many severe storms. Orange means significant storms. And red means widespread significant storms. Where we have that pink in Mississippi, Alabama, parts of Louisiana, Arkansas, that is where we could be seeing an outbreak over the next couple days, generally tomorrow. And as you would expect, the stuff today and tonight is the Oklahoma, Texas stuff. The stuff tomorrow is in the center of the map, and then the stuff by the time we get to Thursday is along the East Coast. Real quick, I want to take a look at, we'll come back to this later on, but real quick, I want to take a look at this here. And so what you'll see is this color at the bottom is what's called the significant tornado parameter. The larger that number is, the better conditions, the better the environment is favorable for producing a tornado. On top of it, you have this purple layer, which shows you the shear. The more shear there is, so where we have that 50 contour, the better chance of tornadoes there is. And also in like a yellowish gray color is updraft helicity, which is, of course, the updraft, which we need for a tornado as well. It'll be very clear to you. They'll occur like little lines, it looks like, as it shows up on the graph. So moving on through tonight, we do see the significant tornado parameter move up through Oklahoma, and we pause it right there. Oklahoma and Texas panhandles. Moving into tomorrow, we see the significant tornado parameter moving up very high, moving for Arkansas in the southern United States. By the time we get to tomorrow after sunset, it starts to fizzle out, moving in to Georgia, still relatively strong. By the time we get to Thursday morning, that's where we are with that. So you can tell it's going to be decent. Again, this is only through Thursday morning. It'll continue throughout the day Thursday. So lots to talk about. Let's start with phase one tonight. This is the official SPC forecast. 30% chance plus significant hail expected in northern Oklahoma tonight. There's also a tornado risk for much of this area in the yellow and green areas on that map. And there's also a wind risk generally over these yellow areas as well. That hail could be significant, as in greater than 2 inches for most of Oklahoma, as well as parts of southern Texas as well. If we go back real quick, where I have that orange outline there where we could see significant storms, that's because there could be significant hail according to the Weather Service there tonight. Generally for Oklahoma, we're looking at large hail. A couple tornadoes may be possible tonight, severe wind as well, maybe a tornado or two down in Texas. Large hail also possible there as well. And of course, wind remains a threat in addition to all this. As for the rest of the states, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Louisiana, and Arkansas as well, we really could see a few things tonight, but the main focus tonight is on Oklahoma and Texas. By the time we get to tomorrow, though, the moderate risk and the tornado risk become the main concerns. Generally, it'll start as what appears to be a line. Now, instead of being a line of storms, it's going to be a line of supercells that are distinct from one another with gaps in between them. And that'll exist from where the low pressure system is, will be over Missouri, all the way down the dry line into Louisiana, about where that yellow line is between the green and the yellow, as it appears on that map right now. Throughout the day, that dry line and low pressure are going to continue moving to the east. That tends to happen here in the United States. Then with that, daytime heating going to cause an increase in quite the event for tornadoes are going to be possible. But that first end, before it reaches about the middle of Arkansas, as we get into say, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock ish, maybe a bit earlier, 3 o'clock tomorrow. That is when we're looking at that upper part of my graphic there, the Missouri, Eastern Arkansas, and Louisiana. Large hail, maybe a few tornadoes. It really just depends on where the supercells start to initiate themselves. But by the time it gets into later in the day, it's going to be more widespread. Western Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Southwest Tennessee, parts of Louisiana as well. Where that moderate risk is, that's where we could be seeing a tornado outbreak tomorrow afternoon. Very large hail, severe wind, all threats with this system. The Storm Prediction Center mentioned that we could see an upgrade to a high risk overnight tonight into tomorrow due to the tornado threat. They also said that any cell that forms has a good chance of producing a strong tornado. So again, that goes with what I said earlier. Even early on, as soon as those cells form, they're in a really great environment. Let's go back real quickly to the map here. And there we go. And so keep your eye on Mississippi and Alabama and look at how high these numbers get, the colors get. There. They're going to reach around a value of 8, sometimes more. And here right now, and there it is. Right there, you can see a little bit of it right at the 4Z right there. That's 8. Now, those yellow values were what we were having in the Texas Panhandle this past weekend, were those yellow values of 4, and that resulted in 2 EF2 tornadoes. So we're going to have tornado conditions twice as high for that. So again, big severe weather day tomorrow. It begins tonight in Oklahoma, moves into Alabama and Mississippi tomorrow as it makes its way through Arkansas and Louisiana and Missouri first. And then by the time we get to Thursday, we have 2 main areas to watch again. Inland northern Appalachia, Kentucky, West Virginia, Tennessee, and Virginia as well. Could see some severe wind, couple tornadoes, large hail. The specifics of that, not exactly sure how big we could get, but the main bulk of the system that will have caused the Mississippi and Alabama tornadoes is then going to move to the U.S. Atlantic coast. Several tornadoes remain possible, and that threat's going to move up the coast throughout the day, so it's going to move from Georgia to south, then north, and potentially as far north as Virginia as well. And that's where we're going to see tornado threats, probably some severe wind threats as well, due to the nature of this whole thing. And large hail will also be possible. Again, a 30% chance plus significant chance of any of these conditions there. To go back to the reference to the dry line I made earlier, the low pressure is going to be sitting over Kentucky. Once again, taking generally where that yellow line is at is where that dry line will be set up at the beginning of the day, and then it'll slowly move its way up the coast. And again, with daytime heating, that's when we're going to have the worst stuff. So probably South Carolina is going to be probably coastal South Carolina is probably the worst or highest impacted out of any of them, out of any of the locations on Thursday. With that being said, stay safe. Pray for the people impacted by the storms. This one is going to be quite the outbreak if it shapes up to be the way the forecasters and myself are expecting it to. And that's all I got for now. Chris 6 Info with our Catholic Media.